Hello everyone, welcome to the Captain Swan podcast number 92. I'm Serena, Savior out on Tumblr, and these are the people with me today.
Hi, I'm Lisa, and I'm you brought me home.
Hi, I'm Michelle, and I'm to the end of the world or time.
Hi, I'm Rance and I'm Aloha Forever.
Hi, I'm Ro, and I am Ginny Jinxed and Handshot Read It First on Tumblr.
Hi, I'm Shannon. I'm Mind Your Home on Tumblr.
Okay, today we will be discussing Dark Waters. As usual, a reminder that we are having our episode 100 in a while, and we got a few suggestions. But if you guys want to send us a few more suggestions on our Tumblr, we are welcoming them. Okay, so let's just start discussing the episode. Do we have any questions, Michelle?
Oh, we have surprisingly few questions.
I feel like we get fewer questions when there is a lot of Captain Swan in the episode.
Yeah, I don't know why that is. That's kind of weird. But anyway, so our first topic is the thing we all never thought would come up again, and that would be Liam 2.0.
No.
We kind of underestimated Adam and Hedy, I have to admit.
Yeah, me too. I seriously did not think we were ever going to see him again.
Especially considering they were asked point blank this question before the season started and said no, that they weren't going to bring him in.
Did
And
they
all of a
say
sudden-
that?
Yes. Yeah.
I thought they
at one of the hot seats before the season started, they asked, we're going to see Liam 2.0, and they said, probably not because we got too much other stuff.
Well,
And
I just
lo and
I was,
behold.
Well, here's my question about that. It makes me wonder if they did when they did a change that they originally intended to have Killian involved in Charming's dad's death and decided that was a bad idea, which it would have been, and they changed the Nemo episode to this instead.
I don't know. I mean, I thought I was kind of tipped off when they were doing their interview about, I think a while back with the guy who plays Captain Nemo. They were like talking about that the storyline was related to Killian's dad in some way. And I was like, well, I don't think the dad's coming back. He's dead. So that only leaves open the mom, which I didn't think we would get really. And then the kid, which they kind of asked about like last season after he came back. And they kind of said like, oh, you never know. And maybe they just left that in their back of their pocket and like, oh yeah, we can use that again. Because they asked about it and they seem to like sometimes do things that, the fans ask about and they want to see maybe. I don't know.
Well, I do guest after the interviews, and I told you guys I sent an ask last time, and you didn't believe me.
Well, that's because we're cynics. We become cynics. Okay,
it didn't really occur to me at first because he bears zero resemblance to
we'll get into
Liam
that.
or Killian. So I'm guessing he gets his looks from his mother.
Yes, probably.
But when he started to relate his story to Killian when they were searching for the key, and he said his parents were taken from him at a young age, and he was scrounging for scraps on the docks when Nemo found him, Colin was like, uh-oh.
Yeah.
Oh boy, is this what I think it is? And then when Nemo told him that, his family, his father was murdered while he was in his bed, I was like, oh shit. Not Liam. Oh god.
Here we go. Our first question is from Daniela. What are your thoughts and reactions on the big reveal of Liam 2.0 being part of Captain Nemo, part of Nemo's crew and back in Hook's life? Well, I don't know how much back in Hook's life he is, because I think this was a one-off.
Does he go back under the sea now with Nemo?
Who knows?
20,000 leagues.
Ro, what do you think?
I'm just glad they've gotten it done and over with, and we can move on to better things.
You didn't like it?
Well, it's just one of those things you just tick off of a box. Okay, we've done that. Now we can do, like, I don't know, CS sexy times or something. God knows.
Yeah, keep dreaming about that. Okay, so someone else, Lisa?
Honestly, I was glad of it because this is an important thing. It was an important thing for him to come to terms with because I know that he was angry when he did it, but it was a mistake and he shouldn't have done it. And he left this kid an orphan and he had to face up to it, which he did. Now, whether or not Liam chooses to stay or if he leaves as soon as Nemo recuperates, that's his choice. I'm hoping that, I mean, I have no aspersions that we probably will not see him again, but I hope he stays for both their sakes. I'd like them to have a chance
It's not gonna
to
happen.
know each other. Because, I mean, for the fact that, you know, our Liam is not there, and I know that Killian wants to have a bigger family. Every time that I have this picture in my mind of them getting married, and then you have the bride side and the groom side, and there's nobody on the groom side except for maybe Smee.
No, Charming will be on that side. You know he will be.
Actually, it's
I was just
our
glad that he
Liam
finally.
the 1.0. Liam
Yes.
1.0. I'm claiming Liam 2.0 as my Liam. I don't want the old Liam to be my Liam.
I just want Killian. I know that he's made this new family with Emma and Henry and her parents, but I also want him to have blood family too. That's just as important. I want him to be able to tell Liam about his brother and their adventures in the Navy and all the things that they did together. I want him to be able to. I want him to be able to have that family again. He needs that.
But
That
Liam
family is
2.0
200 years old.
But Liam 2.0 already has a family. Captain Nemo.
Yeah, he's Nemo.
Nemo's his family. These two people do not know each other. The only
mean
way,
that they can't.
the only way Liam 2.0 resembles a Jones is the fact that he wanted revenge. Okay, that's literally the only resemblance they have.
Well, it doesn't mean they can't get to know each other.
But it'd be forced, and I don't want that. I'd rather have him have like a friend like Charming, where you get to know each other, and that gradually progresses. He can have that maybe with somebody else, but they never really show any other male figures. But besides these 4 people, so I don't think he needs that. I think he's content with the close knit group that he has, and he's a pirate. He's been alone a while, so I don't think, even though, it's kind of depressing that he doesn't have other family members, but all of the people that he associated with are dead. They're 300 years old. So,
I mean, I think it'd be nice for him to get to know his brother. It's not necessary if they get to know each other and they find out that they have completely different and clashing personalities, then just ignore each other. But they're both there. They are brothers. They should get to know each other. In my opinion, there's no harm to it. And Captain Nemo seems like a good man. I think he could be a good friend to Killian. Of course, none of this will happen because we will never see them again. But theoretically, just in theory, they could both be part of Killian's friendship. He should have more friends than the Charmings.
Exactly. And Belle.
It won't happen. It won't happen. Yeah, I feel like Belle is his friend outside the Charmings.
But Belle's a regular though, so this guy's not going to be a regular. I mean, if you want to throw him in on a Killian-centric episode, that's okay, fine, and shows maybe a good relationship, and the guy's just working down at the docks under the water or something. I don't know, but I don't see it progressing anything more.
Even
I just feel like.
Go on.
I just feel like after what Killian went through when he lost Liam the First, and how deeply. Well, I have to codify it somehow.
I know.
So I won't get to how deeply.
Just call him Handsome
Liam. I mean, how deeply that hurt him and how much it changed him. It made him into a completely different person, and to have at least a little bit of that back, how can that be a bad thing?
Yeah, but Liam 2.0 can't replace Liam 2.0, the first one, and I don't want him to. He looks like a little punk.
I don't want him to either, but I'm just glad that Killian has someone else that he can call family.
He's a punk and needs to go away.
Well, we still haven't seen Killian's mom, so maybe there's potential there.
I mean, I want that, but I don't know if I necessarily trust them at this point, considering what they had to, the hoops they had to go through to get this moron on.
But now we know where Killian gets his good looks.
I'm calling it now. Since Liam has younger
looks.
Liam has blue eyes and fair hair, that means his mother had blue eyes and fair hair because Brennan is dark hair, dark eyes. And Killian obviously gets his dark looks and dark hair from his father.
I imagine she's going to look like Mila for some reason a little bit.
So the blue eyes comes from their mother, and I'm guessing Liam's curly hair comes from their mother too.
Which...
Anyway, let's go to the next question.
Yes. Hooked on Killian for Life 28 says, were you surprised to see Killian's younger brother in this episode? And what do you think of how the writers wrote his character into the present day storyline and in the past when it was during the Dark Curse?
Are we really going to touch on the whole timeline issues or just not even care?
I don't understand it.
I kind of got where they were going with that, but like it still didn't make a little bit of sense because I thought Killian was with Cora during the time.
It makes no sense. They have had to retcon the entire Dark Curse for this to even remotely make sense, because Cora very specifically says in 209 that you won't, when Killian freaks out about 28 years, he's like, what the fuck? And Cora's like, but you won't even notice. You'll be frozen, as in like either physically frozen or forced to relive the same day over and over.
No, that's not what happened.
Or some BS.
No, I thought he was just frozen, just like he was in Neverland, where he doesn't age at all.
No, but see, but wait. When Philip and Mulan woke up Aurora at the beginning of season 2, Philip specifically says the reason it took us 28 years to find you is because we were stuck.
Mm-hmm.
He says they were stuck, that they couldn't get to her because they were stuck. They were frozen. Not just they were frozen as in they weren't aging. Okay. They were stuck. So that means nobody was doing anything. And for this nonsense to work, you're saying that Killian was on the Jolly Roger sailing around a virtually empty enchanted forest doing God knows what, and it just makes no sense.
Unless I don't know. He escaped curses. Maybe he escaped a little bit.
But here's the thing. Age-wise, it makes no sense, because if you go with Liam 2.0 being like 8, 9, 10 years old when his dad dies, and Nemo finds him not that long after, that the Nautilus being 20,000 leagues under the sea managed to avoid the curse, like I don't have a problem with that. But that means he aged 28 years. 10 plus 28 is 38.
No, he didn't age 28 years because it says it was during the Dark Curse, which could be 10 years or it goes from 0 to 28
well,
years.
Yes, I understand that. But people are trying to argue, but I can't even remember which one of the writers was like trying to make this make sense. Was like, well, what if it was when, because they say time started moving again when Emma decided to stay in Storybrooke, right?
Or it was weakening the curse, apparently, or something. I don't know.
Right. So if time started moving again, that's what happens at the end of the pilot.
Yeah,
the clock moves. So time starts moving again. There's that few months in between her deciding to stay and her breaking the curse, when everybody woke up from their magically frozenness. So even if this adventure happened during those few months, that still means 28 years went by. Because Emma's born when the curse is cast. She doesn't come back to Storybrooke until she's 28. That means 28 years have passed in both places.
But then, but it says, and looking at the title, it says the time of the Dark Curse. So
that's what I'm saying.
No, but it wouldn't hit the timeline of that.
The time of the Dark Curse. The Dark Curse isn't broken until the finale of season 1. The Dark Curse is still going on.
But you just said the time is hitting on the pilot episode.
No, the time. No, I.
Time is moving forward.
Time is moving forward, but the curse isn't broken. Everybody still thinks they're cursed. Mary Margaret is still Mary Margaret. Mary Margaret did not magically become snow when time started moving.
I don't know.
I see what you're saying, Michelle. What you're saying is basically this happened after time started moving. The clock ticks from 8:15 to 8:16, right?
Yes.
And that would be the most logical, but that's not.
but that's what I'm saying is that if that's the time period they're trying to force this little plot point into, it makes no sense because Liam 2.0 should be older than Killian.
Right.
And he's not.
There's another problem too, because the writer on Twitter again said that Liam 2.0 had gone beyond the bounds of the curse, which makes no sense. Realms as distant as Camelot and Oz were frozen in time too. Right? Nothing happened there. It's not like they were carrying on everyday activity. They were all stuck for those 28 years. So where did he go?
He might have
that he aged
well,
up.
it's possibly because he's underwater that it doesn't go down that far. I don't really know how.
We can retcon stuff, I'm sure,
but exactly. See, but this is what I'm saying. This is the same thing they ran into when they said that when Snow cast the curse, Killian outran it. It's the same thing. Like, how do you outrun a curse that's supposed to go everywhere? Like, it makes no sense. If they would just admit that they retconned this because they liked this story and they wanted to do it, I could accept that, rather than trying to like bend over backwards and come up with all these BS reasons why it makes sense when it clearly doesn't.
It's also possible that that short period of time from when the curse broke, which means the barrier would be down, to when he first meets her in episode 5, he was obviously doing whatever it was he was doing. He was free of the bubble, and time was moving forward. So he might have met him then.
That's what I know.
It's a short period of time, but it's possible.
That's what I just said, though, and that's why I'm saying that Liam's 2.0's age doesn't make sense if that's the case, because he would have been like 10 when Brennan died. 28 years later, he should be almost 40. Did that guy look almost 40 to anybody? No.
Maybe the Nautilus can travel between frozen and unfrozen realms, and sometimes he aged and sometimes he didn't.
I mean, he didn't even get stuck in the land of untold stories until after Nemo got stabbed.
This is why I don't like the writers coming online and talking about the timeline. Just leave it as is and just don't even get it. You're just digging yourself a bigger hole pretty much when you bring this up, because I don't even think about it anymore in terms of depth and, trying to mark it on my wall and try to figure out what the hell happened here. I just feel like I get what you're playing at. It might be wrong, but I still get what you're playing at. That's
the only way that it makes sense is if they were in the Nautilus, got trapped in the curse, sailing around in the Nautilus for those 28 years, and that's why he stopped aging at whatever point. And then the curse broke when Emma broke it. Killian went sailing, and that's how they met up with him. And then Liam took Nemo to the land of untold stories, and that's why he stopped.
But that still doesn't make sense, because Killian killed Brennan literally days before the curse was cast, which meant that Liam should still be like 10. It was days before.
That's true. He should still be.
This is what I'm saying. It makes no sense.
Why didn't they keep Liam as 15 years old? I think the story would have worked very well. Hey, you know what? It would have been even better because Henry
is...
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's why I thought they would do that. And when the show was airing, I was like, well, they didn't cast any little kid, but they didn't show any casting list for the other kid when that was airing, because I looked back and they never credited that kid who played little Liam. So, I was like, well, they could technically just have him as a cabin boy or something on the ship. And that's what I was waiting for. And then I was like, oh, it's the older guy. Okay. So I still don't understand what you're trying to do, but okay, I'll buy that. Okay.
Okay, I guess we're all confused. Maybe let's go to the next question.
Okay.
Go with the flow, really.
Yeah, pretty much. Just cover your eyes when you're watching the scenes.
Ignore the subtitles they give you.
La 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 la. I don't
know. Long time ago.
Yada yada yada, and this happened pretty much.
Okay, so the next question, we've sort of touched on this, but I'll ask it anyway. Anonymous wants to know, do you think we will see Liam 2.0 again in the show or not?
No.
No.
We might. I mean, it's
maybe not. Who knows?
I don't think he has that big of a role in Killian's life to happen.
Well, Well, that too, but I think this was like with Bagel. He got his closure. He's got his father figure back. He can go now.
But this guy's not dead though. Bagel is. Even Bagel has made more appearances as a dead guy than other guys. It's just like crazy.
Oh my gosh.
That's bad.
Okay, let's go to another one. Ro,
There is
yeah?
one Liam. There is one Liam I wouldn't mind seeing.
Yeah, we know.
Little Liam, baby Liam,
Oh no,
son of.
they are
Killian
not
and
calling
Emma?
him Liam. They are
They're
not.
not.
You
Liam
are
3.0.
dooming that baby to being too dumb to live. You are dooming.
We don't need Liam the Third. We just don't. No more.
Yeah.
Not anymore. I mean, I used to be in favor of that, and now I'm like, well, that's fucked. Thanks
No, they need
a
a new
lot,
name.
show.
They can call him David after the.
They can choose another random name. Let's
Yeah.
just call him Jack. Just call him John. Just go to another name.
Yeah, let's name him after Emma's uncle's girlfriend who's dead.
Yeah.
Oh God, no. Let's just call him Colin.
Chad. Let's call him Chad.
Charles, clearly.
Yeah, Charles, like Prince Charles. I'm down with this.
The little
Okay.
Charlie.
Yeah, Charlie is an
Charlie.
unisex name.
no.
So it can be Charlotte and Charles.
Yeah.
Charlie.
Yes, there you go.
Oh,
No,
but Charlotte was the girl who died.
Oh,
Yeah, but no one
cares?
remembers that.
Leia and Charles, guys. Leia and Charles.
Yeah.
Okay, so our next set of questions are about Captain Cobra. The first one is from Daniela. What were your thoughts on the whole Henry and Hook adventure scenes?
They were good, actually. I was surprised. I wasn't expecting them to be this good. I was expecting Harry to be more annoying, but he wasn't. Not very much after the beginning. And actually, I couldn't blame him for being annoyed that Killian threw out his breakfast. I would be very annoyed if someone did that. So Killian kind of deserved some of sass from Harry. Anyone else?
You know, I kind of get where Henry was coming from, because he's a teenage kid. You know, he's used to having an
Coddled?
unnatural and ungodly amount of freedom in that town, considering all the stuff that they go through. So he's not used to having a lot of discipline and having to be told what to do. And Killian, you know, how he is being the captain and everything, he's used to being very disciplined and very, you know, so it's going to take some getting used to having him there. It's one thing having his mother having a boyfriend. It's another thing for the boyfriend to live in the house. So it's growing pains. I do agree that Killian should not have thrown out Henry's Pop-Tarts, because it's the principle of the thing. I don't care that it was Pop-Tarts. If that is what Henry wanted, he could at least respect that was, even if he didn't like the Pop-Tarts, he could at least respect that. Because no kid wants to eat grapefruit and broiled mackerel for breakfast. I mean, come on. I know you were a captain on a Navy ship, but this is not a Navy ship. It's a house. And he's a teenager. He has the freedom to make his own choices. You can't force him to.
You just said he's a teenager who has ungodly amounts of freedom. This kid needs some freaking discipline. Like, seriously.
I know that he does. He needs discipline in certain ways, but in a breakfast choice, he can make his own fucking choice. He's old enough to, make his own breakfast.
Okay, here's my issue with what you just said. My issue is built this up over several episodes, like had Killian move in episodes ago and had the subtle tension of this building up, then his, attitude towards Killian when he found out about the shears, I would totally understand. But they went from 0 to 60 in a nanosecond. And that is lazy storytelling.
I agree.
And it
That
made,
part, yes,
and it made Henry look like a petulant child that I want to punch in the face.
I agree. I was very pissed off.
I always want to punch him.
I understood him being miffed and frustrated about the throwing out of the breakfast. I got that. But when he went from like 0 to 60 and shitting all over Killian about the shears, I get that he was probably angry that he didn't tell him of the truth, but he didn't even give Killian a chance to explain before getting in his face. And then the worst thing of all, to say to this man who's grown up without a family, is you're not a part of the family. Oh, I wanted to just slap him across the face.
Well, not only that, but then it's like, wait a minute. You understand about this whole split personality thing your mom's dealing with right now. You understand that the evil queen embodies everything that is evil about Regina. So you know that she's shady, but you're willing to believe her about this and not give Killian the benefit of the doubt to at least give you some sort of explanation? Like, yeah, no. Sorry.
I don't like that he said, like, the thing that made Emma special was she was the savior.
Yeah.
That was stupid. That was very stupid.
What the hell?
And like, okay, you are so Regina child. You're the child of Regina. I know you are. And he also said something else, I think, that kind of pissed me off, like in the beginning. I'm trying to find it as I'm scrolling through iTunes. Yeah, I can't find it. But that kind of like just irked me. I was like, are you such an idiot that you had to say that? Yeah.
I just feel like, okay, I understand that you're frustrated that he threw out your Pop-Tarts and took that choice away from you. I get that. You could discuss that separately. But that's not enough of a reason for you to, like, bust his balls for the shears. And say that he's not, why do you even care? You're not part of his family. There's no reason for that.
And here's my question. It's like the shears are, yeah, they're going to cut Emma from her saviorness, supposedly, or whatever, but they will keep her alive. Why is Henry opposed to his mom staying alive?
He's an idiot.
I found it here. It says, like, he also said to Killian, like, you certainly don't get to make decisions for my mom. Are you fucking with me? Because I think Bagel made the decision to send her to prison. And I think also Emma made the decision that he became the Dark One. So what the fuck are you talking about, kid?
And he never said that he was going to cut her destiny. He just said I think he just wanted them there so she had the option. A way out
to be fair, when Henry asked, would you have used them on her? And Killian said, I don't know. Mm-hmm. And that's a perfectly legitimate reaction because, like he said himself when he was talking to his fake brother, that, until you're in that situation, you don't know what you're going to do. Like, you can have all these noble ideas all you want. But like we said with Emma last year, she was faced with a decision right then and there. She did not make a choice. Killian was going to die. So she had to make a choice. So, until you're in that moment, you really don't know what you're going to do. And I'm sure Killian has the best of intentions. But, I'm sure we'll talk about Emma's reaction later. But, yeah, so I didn't have a problem with him keeping the shears.
I think Henry's just so stupid that, like, you didn't understand that Killian wanted to have a plan B in this situation where she might be faced and, like, you have a backup choice for something. Are you that stupid, kid? You need to go to school. Go to fucking school. I don't know.
And then he makes him feel even worse when they first get down there, when he says, I have history with the captain of this vessel. He's like, oh, I'm not even surprised. Really? He feels bad enough that you're in this situation to begin with, and now you're making it worse? How about instead of complaining, you help him formulate a plan so you can get out?
Well, he is Bagel's son. Let's all be
right. He's part Rumpelstiltskin.
Well, I have a couple of things. I mean, first of all, yes, it was stupid of him to fall for the evil queen, but she is his mom, and he is still a kid. And yeah, he was easily manipulated. So there's that aspect of it, But on the other side, I feel like this is another symptom that the charming family hasn't fully accepted Killian into their hearts yet. So there are two things going on there. And, that's why it was easy for the evil queen to manipulate Henry. And she knows how to manipulate him. She's been gaslighting him for years, right? I mean, So I don't think I fully blame him for falling for that manipulation, but at the same time, it makes me sad that the charming family can go back and forth on Killian depending on their mood.
I know, seriously, how many times has he died for these people?
Right.
Like, what else does he need to do? Really? I approach this the same way that I approach the anti-hug people. What else does this man need to do? Seriously, like literally die? Because he's already done that. He literally did.
It would have made more sense if they approached it as like he's all like Henry's all bent out of shape about, and he's just treating him like crap because he's starting to like him more and more, and he feels guilty about
Exactly.
Because he's accepting this guy as his father figure as opposed to his dead father figure, which is perfectly fine. And it's just someone you just need to say. He just needed to say, like, I'm never going to replace your father, but I'm still here for you. And that's all that needed to be said. And I wish they say it, but they're never going to say it, are they?
Yeah, I'd rather they play up that kind of angle than this kind of BS angle that makes no sense.
That's why Henry was so quick to say at the beginning, well, he's not my father. I'm like, he's not trying to replace
your father at all.
He's trying
clearly
to
needs
like
some
a
authority.
father.
I mean, it's not his father because he's been with him for more than 2 weeks. So that makes him different than his father.
Yeah, I'm tired of this. It's like...
And he also doesn't crap all over Emma in front of his face either. He supports Emma, unlike Neil.
That's why I want Captain Swan to have their own child, so Henry could be just put aside, because I'm tired of
Go
this.
to college, Henry. Just
go to college. But he's never going to go to college because he still doesn't go to school.
Yeah,
so
he can't finish high school.
He doesn't even have a high school diploma, and he'll never get one.
Yes.
That's great.
He's going to be the most illiterate author ever.
You know what question that I want answered? And I've noticing this in every episode since she's been split. I understand that Regina has magic. I get it. She's the evil queen. Or omniscient. 1, how did she know that he still had the shears? 2, how did she know where he hid them? And 3, how the fuck did she know where to look to find them?
I had those answers. Is that
once they threw them back in? She's not omniscient. How does she know all these things?
She's a stalker.
Where's she from?
She knows because the plot demands that she knows. That's
Exactly.
just simply that. Even the writers don't know why she knows.
Yeah, at least when it looked like the Wicked Witch was all like up at people's business, she had her flying monkeys going around and had spies, and that explained how she knew stuff that she would not, otherwise know. But here, the evil queen's just, I don't know what she's doing.
That's why I kind of was surprised that they didn't go the angle making the dwarves her little pets and stuff like that, taking their hearts and making them be the eyes and ears of the town, like they did with Archie, but not just Archie. That was one person. Why don't you do it with 7 dwarves? For God's sake.
Well, it can't do it. It would only be 6 dwarves.
Okay, 6 dwarves. Yeah, he went and got a master's degree. He was the smart one. He's smarter now than Henry, and he's dopey.
All I can say about this storyline is that the evil queen is just not believable anymore. It's become a farce now. Every time she tries to cackle and laugh, I'm going to get you. It's like, oh God, just go away.
I don't think
maybe let's talk about this later because there was a question about Henry. Maybe at the end we can see we can share our thoughts on the evil queen. Ro, you were going to say something?
Well, I get where Henry was coming from after he found out about the shears, and it was a tense moment, and you say things you don't mean even to people who you would consider to be friends, but it's just a way for them to have some tension, as the writers did, and just resolve it, and now they seem to be a little closer because of what happened. And I mean, he even defended him and said he would never hurt this family. I mean, and he was right about that. It was just a tense thing, and he obviously didn't mean the things that he said. I'm sure he likes Killian, and he's accepted him as part of Emma's life. I don't really see the point in dwelling on the things that he said because he didn't mean them.
Okay, what's the next question?
Well, these next two we've sort of already touched on, so I'll read them both, and then we can wrap up this Captain Cobra stuff. Let's see, what are your thoughts and reactions to the Captain Cobra Swan breakfast scene, and what were you satisfied with the Captain Cobra scenes in this episode? Killian's a terrible liar. Gardening, that's the best you can come up with. Okay. Other than that, it was fine.
I think we can officially confirm that her lie detector does not work in Killian's presence at all, because that was the worst lie in the world, and even she didn't pick it out.
Does this imply that they're now sleeping together too?
Yes.
Yes.
I know it's not
Confirmed.
Captain Cobra related, but we have to pick up on that fact that she's like, "Hey, you're up early." Was she like turned around and like saw a cold bed and she was like all sad and cried?
Duh. She wanted early morning snuggles, and he wasn't
She
there.
did. Ugh. I'd rather have that than Evil Queen near with Henry at the garbage scenes. I'm sorry.
Amen to that.
I need that upstairs. Give me that upstairs set. I gotta get that GoFundMe account going.
Okay. Someone else. Maybe a lie detector has to be activated, and she didn't activate it.
She didn't have enough coffee.
Yeah, maybe it needs fuel.
She needed. Maybe she had sex brain or something.
We can only hope.
Either way, I will never object to seeing Emma Swan walls down, blissfully happy.
She was
That's
not
always
wearing
a
any
plus.
socks either.
That is always a plus.
But yes, she was wearing a sweater inside. I'm like, is your house cold? What is going on?
Jen's always cold though, so maybe the set was cold. But she was wearing no socks though.
Yeah, so I'm like, why are you wearing a sweater and no socks? Like, that don't make no sense.
I do that sometimes at home.
Okay, let's go to the next.
Okay, on to subplots. Snow and Belle. This first one is from Mai. Do you agree that Snow should have offered to go in with Belle for her ultrasound?
Yes.
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 Poor Belle, she's really alone. It was kind of sad.
I'm
I
like, what the
know.
hell, Snow? She's been pregnant twice.
She didn't even ask to see the ultrasound afterwards. She had it in her
What
head.
the hell?
Oh, hey, I want to see it. Can I see it? No, nothing.
Like you could have just gone in with her and seen it live.
Yes.
No,
And
but they
what-
had to be with Captain Nemo
and-
for like.
Here's my question. Belle's been pregnant for like a nanosecond. I know I'm not an expert on pregnancy, but what are they gonna see? There's nothing there.
Heartbeat, that's about it. That's
Not-
all they
Candy,
can do.
not
No,
yet.
they can't take a picture of anything.
She's been pregnant for like a week.
Well, I think she said first trimester or something, right? I think that's when you're supposed to get the ultrasound. So apparently they were in the underworld for like a couple of months then, or 3 months, whatever. Wow,
They couldn't
that's
have.
crazy.
They were
Well,
only in the
Killian's
underworld
body
for
was
maybe.
rotting.
They were in the underworld for maybe 2 weeks tops.
Well, according to the pregnancy, they were there for 3 months or something. I don't know.
But that's what I'm saying. It's
Not
like this don't
showing.
make no sense. That she's been pregnant for like 3 minutes. What are they gonna see? A clump of cells? Like,
I
don't
mean,
understand.
you are
I can
asking
tell you-
too much. First, you want their timeline to make sense. Now you want their timeline about a woman pregnancy to make
Yeah,
sense.
I don't know, Andy.
I mean, that's
Well-
just too much.
I can tell you right now that she definitely did not get a stomach ultrasound, and this is based on personal experience.
Oh,
up
she got
until-
the one where they stick the thing.
Yes,
Okay.
because
Oh my
you can't
God.
Yeah.
you can't do a stomach ultrasound
Did the role
before.
leave because we were so shocked?
You can't do a stomach ultrasound before the 3rd month because, like Michelle was saying, the fetus is so small that it's hard to see anything. So before the 3rd month, you usually get the vaginal one, and the most that you can detect is size and a heartbeat, if that.
But
So
are
what about
those actually necessary? Don't they do them for emergencies, like
They
when
do
they're
that. They
worried?
do that. They do that at the beginning to get a preliminary date of conception and a date of and a possible date of birth. So they have
Okay.
a time frame to work with. And then in the 5th month, the 5th month one isn't just for determining sex. It's also for getting a better look at where the baby is positioned and a more accurate date too. The whole sex thing, that's the parent's choice. They don't necessarily have to get that unless they want to be surprised.
So what was the picture of then? Like,
It was ripped from a
thing.
magazine.
Like, what was the picture?
It'll be of a tiny head and maybe like a little bean-shaped, like maybe a little tiny bean-shaped for her because she's really, really early. Like when I had my first one, I was already almost 3 months, and you could see a little bit of her arms and a little bit of her legs. But hers is like a month. You'd be lucky if it's a dot on the screen, if that.
This is what I'm saying. It's like they clearly don't understand how pregnancy works. Considering the amount of female characters they've had pregnant on this show, you think somebody would do some research.
Yeah, what
Well,
is
they
that
don't
with
know
all
how
the
math
pregnancy?
works. They don't know how
They don't
biology
scientists.
works.
Well, a few of the writers are like women, so.
That's why
That's
it
not
makes
an
no
excuse.
sense.
Well, maybe Adam and Eddie's like, no, that's not what happens, and they just make up their own crap.
But that's the thing. Adam and Eddie are both dads. Their wives have been pregnant. You're telling me they don't understand how this works?
Maybe they forgot.
Oh, poor wives, but
I don't know.
Something else that confuses me is, isn't this a hospital that was frozen in the 80s for what, 28 years?
They don't have any new medical equipment.
Just like
They
everybody's
have-
stuck with flip phones.
They have the basics, like the
Sit down.
basic stuff, but like real high-tech stuff, no.
But you just said this was most likely could have been a vaginal ultrasound. Could they have done those in the 80s?
I was
Yes,
born
ultrasounds.
in the 80s. Should go ask my mother if they still cutting up her.
The first ultrasounds were like the first ultrasound machine was developed in the late 70s. So yes.
Well, we'll see. Anyway, next question. Daniela asks, was Snow instigating Belle to have hope for her marriage in love with Rumple in this conversation, or was it all my imagination?
Snow should not give Belle advice. In general, Snow's advice is
No.
really not good, but only Killian is allowed to give Belle advice because he's the only one who will tell her your husband is a scumbag, don't go back to him. Everyone else is like hope, blah blah blah, true love, blah blah blah. I don't know, and they shouldn't. It's just effed up the way they have been writing the Rumble relationship. They should, yeah.
Yeah, well, considering the most recent interviews that Adam and Eddie have done, the way they've talked about Rumbell, especially the Leanne one, I don't know if anybody read that one,
Yeah.
but yeah, I was just like, the way they talk about it, this is exactly what they want. They want people to have hope for Rumbell, despite the fact that it's gross and toxic.
There's something I don't get. I don't get if they are just saying that because it's their stick to just say, yeah, have hope, just tune in, but they don't really believe it. And they would be jerks for giving hope to Rumble fans. Or if they actually do believe it, and then they're assholes for writing their relationship in such an abusive way. There is no way for them not to be jerks. I just wondered what types of jerks they are.
This time I thought they were going to be really big jerks because for a second there, when she was walking towards the shop to go give him the picture, I thought for sure she was going to walk in on him kissing Regina. I was like, oh God,
please.
no.
Me too.
Oh God, no.
I thought it was
She's
going to
been through
happen,
enough.
and I wish it had.
I was like,
Yeah,
please,
me
she's been through
too.
enough. Do not make this happen for the. Do not let this happen to this poor woman.
Despite the fact that the whole evil queen and Rumple kissing gave me hives and made me want to heave, it's the exact kind of soap opera twist that they love, and I kind of wish they had done it because it would have sunk Rumbell faster than the Titanic.
Actually, what's going to sink them faster than the Titanic is whatever the hell he's planning to do with those shears. As if he hasn't done enough. Is he wanting to make it so that she's not pregnant? Is that what he's trying to do?
No, because he wants that kid. Like, he don't want Belle, he wants that kid.
Yeah.
So what is he trying to do? What does he hope to accomplish by changing her destiny?
So confusing.
Unless he's trying to change his son's destiny.
Yeah, that's what I think too. If his destiny is to eat him,
Why would that be his destiny? I don't understand that part.
Because he's already eating him from the womb.
How will he remember that? He's a fetus. He's a freaking fetus. How would he remember that?
I thought he was trying to change his own destiny. Rumple's destiny.
No, I'm sure he's going to use that on the sonogram picture. That's why it was there. He's going to cut it.
He's going to cut it up into little pieces. Okay.
He's going to cut it and like put it on his.
And then there's going to be no. If he does that, then there'll be twins. Then Rumble will have twins. Cut it.
He'll be like a seahorse.
Snow just seems to be all about giving the hope speeches to everyone except her daughter. You know, last week with Street Rats, I'm surprised she wasn't more concerned about how Regina was taking the news of Emma possibly dying. Like, Regina, are you okay? I mean, I know Emma's probably going to die, but I want to give you a hope speech. I love you so much.
We've given up on that relationship.
To be fair to Snow, she didn't actually ask Belle to have hope. She was more like being a polite stranger, having conversation with Belle. That's what I felt. David's conversation with Belle was what I really didn't like because he was implying that even having a bad father is better than having no father. So that I really hated that speech.
Mm-hmm.
But Snow actually didn't do anything. I mean, this is like meeting some random person in a hospital and you know that they've been through bad stuff, but you don't really want to get in too deep, you know? That's what it felt like to me. It's not like they have a real relationship anyway.
But I think that thing where David said that would probably is going to nip him in the butt and the backside of that, where he's not going to have his father, and then he's going to be okay with it. Actually, he just doesn't know any better yet.
Well, we'll get to that in spoilers. I have a theory.
You know what I'm trying to figure out is where the badass Snow went, because they were going on about how she's accepted the Snow part of herself and she's not going to shrink back and become Mary Margaret anymore. Well, one, she's going back to being a really bad teacher, like she was in season 1. And then she goes back to the hospital to give flowers, which is a nice thing to do and everything. But that's also a very Mary Margaret thing because that's how she met David. And 3, while in that first scene, while they were trying to get Jiminy out, which they did, instead of here, she is trying to directly confront the queen while cowering in fear behind Regina. It's just like, you're not going to tear us apart while I cower in fear behind the magic woman.
She wasn't cowering in fear.
She's just short.
Well, she certainly wasn't standing in front of Regina.
Yeah, but Regina
was standing
than her.
Regina has magic.
And I think Regina deliberately put herself between the Charmings and the Evil Queen, which good for Regina.
She just appeared there in front of her, in front of them.
All I have to say
Regina,
about... Go ahead.
But Regina's only doing these good things now because she's only half the person she used to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I doubt the writers are ever going to address that.
All I gotta say about Queen's mission when she said that she wanted the one thing she'd always wanted, which was Snow's heart, I was like, ugh, again, really?
I thought she was going to say. I thought she was going to say to fuck Rumple because going that
Yeah.
because it was almost going that way.
I thought she was going to say Henry, which, wouldn't you
No,
want
it was.
that thing?
It's going back to the basics of the heart thing, and she's had enough playing around with other people and hanging out at the trash can. Now that she's like, oh yeah, I remember. I kind of wanted Snow's heart, so I don't know why she's like going around everybody else and just being a dick to everybody else. And like, I thought you hated Snow, but yet you have not interacted with Snow at all for like 7 episodes.
Why does she need Rumple's help anyway? It's
Because she
ridiculous.
always
I don't know.
She always goes to Rumple. Remember? She's always
Yeah.
is his teacher.
She's always about minions.
I'll never hear that line. Normal way again. My God.
Because he's more powerful than she is, and if she runs into problems, she needs the powerful backup. And she knows that Rumple has no reason to give a crap about what happens to any of them.
Well,
The only person he cares about is Belle.
Given how careless Rumple seems to be with the dagger currently, wouldn't it just behoove the evil queen to get the dagger and then force Rumple to help her? Rather than creepily make out and make us all want to heave.
In fact,
another overdone story.
In fact, I thought that's what she did. I thought she got hold of the dagger by kissing him and distracting him.
I know, right?
Yeah. Because there was a moment there where she I got the better of you. I thought that there was that look in her face, but then it was gone.
Yeah, it was dumb.
But we haven't seen the dagger in like how many episodes?
Well, no, Hyde had it. Hyde managed to get it from him.
Yeah.
But Rumple got it
before he
back.
died. Well, yeah, because Hyde died.
But we don't know where he's hiding it anymore.
Hopefully someone no one else can get their hands on, because that, like the Snow White heart thing, that is another overdone storyline that no one really wants to see anymore.
If Rumple was smart, you know where he'd hide the dagger?
Toolbox?
No. He'd find one of them keys, the Land of Untold Stories, and just chuck it in. Or put it in some pocket dimension or something.
No, he sleeps with it at nighttime. He puts it under his pillow.
So dumb.
Or, I don't know, maybe do that shadow thing again and cut his shadow away and tell him to fly it to Neverland and keep it there. That was his best job of hiding it through all 6 seasons. That was the best job he ever did of actually hiding that thing.
No, he probably made duplicate copies just like he did before. He has like 10 different daggers everywhere.
I don't find this relationship to be strictly ethical because he was her teacher. Maybe the Board of Education should get involved. He's also old enough to be her dad. And that whole thing with Cora?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
I mean, after that thing with Cora, a lot of people thought Rumple was Regina's dad.
Yeah.
He is such a pimp. It's just bad.
In the words of
He's
Raven,
the pimp of Storybrooke, apparently.
In the words of Raven Simone, you're nasty. You're nasty.
The whole thing is just creepy, and I don't know why they seem to be enamored with it in the writer's room.
Wow.
It makes my skin
What made
crawl.
them think of this during the break? Oh my God. I don't know.
It makes my skin crawl every time I see that. Every time her face is in his face, it makes my skin just crawl. Ugh.
Ugh.
So disgusting.
In the words of Phoebe Buffay, my eyes, I can't take this anymore. Stop burning our eyes.
All right, next question is about Aladdin and Jasmine and Agrabah. It's from Mai. What do we think happened to Agrabah?
I don't think it was completely destroyed, because I think at the end they're going to go back to it and save it. But Jafar probably did something to it. I'm not sure what. I have no idea. So
I have a theory.
Did she say?
I have a theory. It's in that snow globe thing Henry mentioned.
Well, in the movie, remember, Jafar has the genie pick up the palace and put it up on like a mountain or whatever. So, it could be like, I like the snow globe idea, but the idea of Agrabah like moving is not like unknown. Like they probably got that from the movie.
Well, don't we have a spoiler of Aladdin picking up the genie lamp?
Mm-hmm.
So it could be in the genie lamp.
Did she say that she left Agrabah to make an alliance with a neighboring kingdom, and then when she came back, it was gone?
Yes.
Maybe
It's
she lost
entirely
her way.
possible. No, it's entirely possible while she was gone that Jafar took over and either put up something, did his magic and put up some kind of cloaking spell to make it look like it was gone, or just moved it entirely.
Now, my question with this, Jasmine was going to go make an alliance. Traditionally, the way princesses make alliances is they got to marry somebody. So I'm like, did she go offering a marriage alliance with some other crazy kingdom or something? And that's why she's
I
being all
doubt
weird
it.
with Aladdin?
Nah,
Because this whole being obsessed with Agrabah when she just got Aladdin back and supposedly like cares about him is driving me bananas. This is the second week in a row.
It kind of reminds me of, what's her name from Camelot, Guinevere, where she was obsessed with some one thing, but like the sword or whatever. So maybe Jasmine is under a spell. You remember how she was under a spell in Aladdin, where she was wearing her red dress and in love with Jafar, blah blah blah.
She wasn't in love with Jafar. She pretended to be in love with Jafar to distract him.
Or what was it? The dad was in under a spell or something.
Yes. The Sultan was under the influence of the staff.
So I don't know. I just feel like one of the Aladdin characters is still shady. I just don't know which one. I've been trying to figure that out. It's not working.
All I know is it will be a crime against television if we do not get more Oded Fair on our TV screen.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Please more.
I feel like they have to throw out Once Upon a Time in Wonderland because it just doesn't fit anymore in any way.
But that's the weird part. They said that Jafar being a genie is canon.
So he's going to be in that lamp.
Well,
They
if
say a
maybe
lot of
he's in
things.
that lamp, then I'm sure he got out of the lamp. That's probably the explanation. He got out of the lamp, and then he went back to Agrabah.
Yeah.
He's that
That's
pair.
probably what happened.
I thought he was shady, what's her name, Oracle Girl, for a while. And then, well, the thing is, I thought, like, it just seemed weird that Aladdin was sort of like, not this episode, but the other episode, where he just comes out of the shadows in a crypt, and, like, it's just weird, I thought. Like,
And that he's been in Storybrooke this whole time?
Yeah, that was in Storybook this whole time, and then he's like, here's some shears, and that was the thing that Jafar was all obsessed to give Aladdin, was the shears, and now he's like, oh, here's some shears, go cut yourself loose from this. And wasn't that the thing that Jafar wanted Aladdin to use? So I was like, did you move from Oracle Girl, Shady Girl, now to be Aladdin? I just thought, like, everybody's shady, except for maybe Jasmine is the only one who's not shady, but I don't know, it's just weird.
Yeah, I don't really understand what they're trying to do with the Aladdin storyline.
I don't think they know what they're trying to do either.
It's
And I don't think
boring.
it had so much more potential. I thought they would like really dive deep into the savior mythology and
I know.
But they didn't do that.
In my perfect world, that this whole storyline is set up to prove that you can be the quote unquote savior even without magic. Like that is my ideal like resolution to this whole savior storyline, because the idea that the Emma being the savior all makes me want to vomit, and I really want to punch the writers if this is what we ultimately come up with out of this, because I'm like, no.
I don't know. I thought they would like dive deep into like other saviors and what the savior means technically, and how do you become a savior. Like they're not doing any of that. They're just dealing with like Agrabah and talking to birds and like Oracle Girl and then the Evil Queen shit on the side. It's like I liked it better with the Dark One mythology. That was actually put together really well. So why aren't they doing that with the Savior mythology?
Because it's a full season?
Probably. I think they're like, oh, it's probably easier to run 22 episodes and we have all this time to do that, but then you kind of get like lost in your own crap, maybe. I don't
Because
know. They have too
of
many
having-
things on the table right now.
the
Again,
drama of having Emma dying is more important than getting into actual mythology stuff that people care about.
I don't know. I mean, okay, but whatever.
Yeah, it's all dumb.
It's kind of
Yeah,
not the way I would
I-
like it to play out, but I mean, you could still
I
do
would-
that. I mean, you could still have like the concern of Emma dying, but you know, it should have been like a mission where they went on to look for other saviors or more dive deep into the books or have someone that, you know, was like a Giles figure from Buffy that's telling you like, oh, I met the first savior or something. Come on. Give me something like that.
Yeah, where's my 422 like Buffy dream
Yeah.
origins of the Slayer thing?
yeah.
Where's that? Give me that.
Yeah, Jane, that's your number one job, Jane, to use Buffy. I thought you were gonna like go that way because you were on Buffy and you use the origins of the Slayer shit. That's supposed to be your knowledge to pass on to Adam and Ed and be like, this is what we really should be doing. Yeah, like I'd rather have that kind of dream sequence opposed to these fake dream sequences.
I would be concerned if this was just the first half of an arc and they just do what they've been doing. But seeing as they've only just started with this whole Aladdin thing, they could do some of that later on down the line. But honestly, in regards to Agrabah, unless they do like a Merida where they actually go back and show how that gets resolved, I see it more going the way of Frozen. We don't know how Hans is defeated. We just assume that's what happened, that Anna punched him in the face. And
Well, it doesn't seem like in any of the spoilers like that we don't see Karen David or any of the other ones around unless they seem to like kind of wrap it up in the middle of the season. So I'm wondering after they find this whatever supposed genie lamp, is that it? And like after Emma is not dead, is that it? Did they just go back and that's the end of the story and then they're going to move on to something different with Robin Hood? Because they're going to just abandon that storyline? Or I thought this was supposed to progress all the way.
To be fair, I have said that the season is going to consist of mini arcs. Like we had the first 4 episodes of Jekyll and Hyde, and now we're getting Aladdin and Jasmine, and then Robin will be an arc, and it's like.
Well, that seems just
overall
kind of actually
storyline.
worse to now, because it just seems like mini arcs. That's exactly what they were doing in the last couple seasons. Is they had one half and then the other. Now they're gonna have what 3 mini arcs maybe?
No, this.
I doubt they're gonna.
Are they gonna play this? Are they gonna play this Robin Hood thing all the way to the end?
No.
I doubt they're going to abandon it entirely. I mean, Adam and Eddie did say that they're not under that time constraint like they have been in the past seasons because they're not doing blocks. They're stretching it out for the entire.
But they're bringing up a lot of different things. They had Hyde and Jekyll in the very first 4 episodes or whatever. Now they have Aladdin and Jasmine. Now they have Robin Hood.
Okay. Here's the thing that they're gonna have there's mini arcs with groups of characters. Like Jekyll and Hyde was a mini arc. And then Robin will be another mini arc, and this Aladdin and Jasmine thing would be another mini arc. But the overall themes of the season will go across the whole season. That's why they're not getting to Charming Sad until later. Like they're setting up some stuff, and they're gonna pay it off, later. But they've got,
I just can't conceive that they would leave. I can't conceive that they would leave the Emma Savior background storyline dangling because it's too important to her story for them to leave it unfinished.
Well, it seems that they're bringing back Baby.
But see, that's the thing. I don't think they ever really intended to get into the Savior storyline the way we were just talking about, where there's like the origins of the Savior, like the concept of the Savior and blah, blah, blah. I don't think they ever have intended to do it that way.
I thought they said that at San Diego.
They said a lot of things at San Diego Comic-Con that have not happened. And how many times have they said stuff that hasn't happened? Don't believe anything they say. They're trolls.
That's why it drives me nuts when reporters and people try to get them to go deep at Comic-Con, because whatever they give you is, when they're at Comic-Con, they're still like in baby steps of what their concept of what the season is going to be like. So they could tell you something, but it doesn't necessarily mean that that's the way it's going to end up. Things will change as the season goes on. That's just how television works. So for anybody to cotton onto one thing and say, oh, it's going to be this, and then get pissed off when it doesn't happen, you can't do. I mean, yes, it's frustrating when they say one thing and you want it to happen, but it doesn't. Or there's a storyline that they start and then it doesn't go anywhere. AKA what happened to Will and all that stuff. But that's what happens with television. Sometimes they bite off more than they can chew. And yes, it pisses you off, but you can't reach into the TV screen and change it. You just have to deal with it. I agree, though, being that this is Jane's forte and that she did write the whole Buffy background, the Slayer and all that, she should have been able to lend that information and that knowledge to Adam and Eddie, to give them that, to give the Savior this big fleshed out background. But this is once, and we know that they don't go deep. They've never gone that deep.
Well, I mean, Jane had a different boss. She didn't have Joss Whedon telling the story either, so. And I think Joss goes a little bit deeper than they do in mythology.
Mm-hmm. They try to keep it more rooted in fantasy than real deep drama, and that's just how it.
I mean, this story was always a story designed to draw out angst, and the ideal way to draw out angst is to threaten your main character with death. That's all it was designed to do.
Yeah, but the angst seems to be behind us now.
Well, except for the thing that they're like, well, she still has the prophecy of dying. It's everybody now knows, so the angst is still there. It's just it's no longer something that
kind of angst.
Yeah, it's different kind of angst. It's not like, oh, she has a secret anymore. It's more like, oh, she could still die. We don't know when she's gonna die. When is this? Who's killing her? Who's the hooded figure? Blah blah blah.
Well, okay, we didn't get any questions about this, but we should probably talk about this since this is the Captain Swan podcast. What did we think of the finally fessing up about this year's situation? Because I said right after the episode that Emma looked weirdly disappointed when he said that the shears were gone.
Mm-hmm.
She did.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, clearly she gave up on the shears because it was, according to their worldview, the right thing to do, because in that family they sacrificed themselves for others. But I think it's only human to want to have that possibility of saving yourself, just to have it just in case.
Mm-hmm.
So it makes sense she would be disappointed, because if Killian had kept it, they could have had it without her being the one maybe disappointing her parents and saying, no, keep it. So yeah, that makes a lot of sense to me.
Makes more sense to me to just find out who the hooded figure is and use the shears on that person.
That's smart, though. They don't do smart on this show.
True.
And now the shears are in the hands of Rumple, and that's only going to lead to bad places.
Well,
I'm just glad that they got the reveal out of the way. I didn't want this to be a secret that was between them for a long, drawn-out period of time, especially after what happened last year. I just wanted them to address it and be done with it. I felt like the conversation should have been deeper. There should have been more that they discussed.
They probably did off screen.
Yeah. I know this question that Leanne asked this question in her recent interview. Maybe we might get one more scene of something with them talking about it, but I highly doubt it. I'm just glad she wasn't angry. And yeah, she did seem disappointed, because you remember at the Tell 9, she told Aladdin that some part of her wanted to keep the shears, and that's why she gave them to Killian, because she was afraid of what she would do if they were around her, that she would use them without thinking.
But you know what? At this point, I think Emma's earned the right to be a little selfish and try to save herself. And all these
Absolutely.
other people need to learn to save themselves.
I think maybe
Absolutely.
I think maybe Emma did give him the shears because she knew exactly what he was going to do with the shears. He was going to hide them and not do. She knows him well enough that. But when Henry got involved, of course, they had to put him in the chest and go down to the bottom of the ocean.
Why are we listening to the 13-year-old child? I don't understand.
know. Yeah, so I think she gave him to the right person because she knew exactly what would happen.
The 13-year-old child who seems to be perfectly okay with his mom dying.
Apparently so.
Like, I don't understand that.
Right.
Yeah, but we have to remember Henry wasn't actually there when Neil died. Emma was, just like she was there when Graham died, just like Killian was there when Mila died. See, you would do anything not to have that happen to you again. And Emma and Killian both understand that. That's why they didn't get into a shouting match. That's why they were completely mature about it. And I couldn't be happier.
Yay.
Round of applause.
Any more questions, or are we done with our?
Oh no, we've got a couple more. Serena, should I ask this one about Lana?
Uh-oh.
I don't know. We have a controversial question about Lana that I I sent a text to Michelle about because I was like, what the hell? I don't know. Ask
Well,
it.
since you brought it up, go ahead.
Yeah, you can't leave us hanging.
No.
Yeah. Now you set the stage. You have to go through with it.
Yes, I did. Okay. This is from Kat, and it says, "Is it racist of me not to like Lana/Regina? I would never send her hate or anything. I just don't like how she acts and what she does."
Is this wait? She said, "Is this racist?"
Yes.
I don't think that's a racist question.
Well, I'm sure Lana's stans would probably make the BS argument that it's racist because she's the only Latina in the cast. But I mean, the fact of the matter is, Lana does bait her people. Like, she does that. That's a thing, and it drives me nuts too. I just ignore her. That's how I do.
Yeah, I don't. I mean, she is clearly in love with herself. With every post that she makes, is herself. So I can see.
Didn't she recently like a bunch of tweets or retweet a bunch of tweets that had
and then deleted them
about an article that was like pro Swan Queen and bashing all the other ships,
bashing all the other cast members too.
Cast members, yeah.
So
Did
yeah,
Lily
she did
Sparks
do that.
write it?
Probably.
I don't
But,
know.
she did-
Sometimes I think that Lana doesn't read everything that she reblogs or retweets, whatever. She just, I mean, if it looks her like it's once upon a time, she's just going to click and blah. But she doesn't. She needs to look at what she's
That's
clicking
the
on
thing.
first.
Those kind of articles are like secondhand articles. They're not like big TV articles. They're not like TV Guide or E or anything. They're like side-made amateur articles. What is she doing? Like, how do you find these? She's not even following that person on like Twitter. It's like you're looking for stuff that's someone probably gave it to her or whatever.
Tweeted it at her first. I'm sure someone tweeted it at her first, and then she saw like the headline and went, "Ooh, retweet," and then
it's about me. Oh my god.
I'm just saying, I know that they're amateur and secondhand, but I also know how the fandom takes these things and how quickly they can go into meltdown mode when they see something they don't like. So she needs to at least be aware of that much. That some
she is, but she doesn't
of,
seem to care.
That some corners of the fandom are rabid and will go off. If you know.
Well, here's my input. For a question like that, am I racist for not liking Lana Regina? There's no one answer because some people may not like the character because of racist reasons. You know, how can we tell why you don't like it? We don't even know you, right? So you have to examine yourself and see if you have any of those tendencies, and if you do, just be honest with yourself. And sometimes it can be a mixture of reasons. I mean I don't want to say outright nobody who dislikes Lana Regina is racist, because you never know, right? And the problem is we don't have that many POC characters in the show, at least those that are alive. And that's why people feel guilty for not liking Regina or Lana, which is really understandable, you know. So yeah, it's really understandable why they would feel that way. But
Well, and
yeah,
my issue with that is like they don't really acknowledge on the show that, I mean, in some ways this is a good thing. In some ways, you know, I wish they bring it up more that Regina isn't white. You know what I mean? Like I mean, you can't. I don't want to say you can't tell because that's horribly racist and stereotypical, but you know, like they don't acknowledge that she's like a POC, and I think they could. It would behoove them to do that more because there are so many POCs that are either dead or, you know, evil or whatever. If they're trying to promote that Regina's a hero now, then maybe they should bring that up more.
But I mean, there's also a very marked difference. If you don't like a character because the character rubs you the wrong way, there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, we don't like Regina, we don't like Rumble, we don't like Bay because we just don't like the characters. That doesn't necessarily mean that we don't have any respect for the actors that play them. It's two totally separate things. Now, if you say you don't like Lana, if you say you don't like Lana because her personality is too abrasive or she's, you know, she's too loud, that is a personality thing. There's nothing wrong with that because you're not put on this earth to like or love everybody. No one can. But if you say that you don't like her specifically because she's a Latina, that's when you have to like.
It can be a word. That's what we should not be quick to just shut it down. You know, that's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Sometimes it can be, you know, not a word. Sometimes it can be someone's attitude, but nobody is perfect, and I feel like we shouldn't really. I mean, I just don't think there's a right answer to this. You just have to figure it out yourself.
Yeah, because the person who's asking the question isn't really being specific enough. She's not saying why she doesn't like Lana. She's just saying blanket that she doesn't like her. So we can't really answer that question.
And bottom line, at the end of the day, don't send hate to the actors. Just don't do it. You avoid all of this. Like, you have to deal with what's in your own heart at, you know, on your own time. Just don't send hate to the actors, no matter what you feel. Sounds simple, but it's surprisingly hard for lots of people.
I know, right?
Yeah. Okay. Someone else wants to add something, or we can go to the next question? We handled this well, guys. I think we can clap for ourselves.
Yay.
Very good.
Next.
I just think the less that is said about the cast in a negative light, because there's way too much of that in the fandom, you know, already. I think let's not be like them because we aren't.
Yes, let's rise above.
Okay. Here's your clap. Let's go to the next one.
That's one of the main. That's one of the main.
Okay.
I can hear you.
Yeah, I missed out. Like whatever it was you said, Lisa, we all missed it.
And
she's coming in and out, I guess.
Yeah.
All right. I bet it's a good thing, Lisa, but we can't hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, now we do.
Now we can.
I was saying that you guys are right because we've seen too many instances in the fandom, as Ro called it, about them putting their irrational hate for the character onto the actor that portrays them, and that's just bad juju all around. Like, the character and the actor are two separate things. If you're going to hate Hook or Regina, Rumple, whoever it is, that's your own choice. But to transfer that hate onto the actor, there's no call for it. It's just a character. It's not real. The show isn't real. Move on. You know.
Right. I hate Rumple,
Bad form.
but I love Bobby. He's just a funny guy. So,
Can we have Bobby read more things in his Scottish accent? because
Yeah,
that's
there
what
you
I
go.
want in my life.
So, I mean, I get, messed up. I hate, Henry and his choices, but I don't hate Jared. So, the only things that peeve me off about Lana is her personality. There you go.
Okay. So we've got one question left, and I'm sure this will devolve into greater spoiler talk. So if you're spoiler averse, run away now. And this is from Stacy. Hey guys, I've been thinking about the spoilers we've been getting, and this is some spec that I've thought of. So both Regina and Emma, with their memories on sadly another bullshit adventure, are in the alternate reality where the curse didn't happen and everyone else is in storybook, which is how the charming dad storyline will play out. And she can't wait for the season to be over. So this is, of course, yeah. So this is about the whole alternate universe spec that's going around about episodes 10 and 11.
That's still so weird to me because I saw the pictures of Robin in his enchanted forest outfit with everyone else in Storybook who were dressed normal. So it's
Yeah.
like, do they take him from an alternative universe and bring him to Storybook like it's Fringe style? There is an alternative universe at the same time as ours. And he's there, and
multiverse
yeah,
time.
yeah,
Like
and
all of us who watch DC TV shows, we all know about the multiverse.
Yeah.
I was thinking
Earth
Fringe,
2.
like
Oh
Bolivia.
yeah,
That would work too. Fringe would work too. I mean, Emma and Killian are essentially Olivia and Peter anyway, so I'm down with that.
Yeah, and for the season finale, an alternative Emma will come to Storybrooke and take the real Emma's place. And
oh that'd be funny.
No, it won't.
it wasn't funny on Fringe. It literally made my head explode. It was not
Yes,
funny.
and then Peter gets the phone call from real Olivia while fake Olivia is sleeping next to him, and we're like, what?
Spoilers.
Well, if you also consider Jane's experience from Buffyverse and all this, y'all remember the first season episode or was it second season episode where, after the whole debacle went down between Anya and Willow and
Season 3.
between
Season 3,
between
The Wish.
Xander and Willow
Yep.
and Cordy, and Cordy was so pissed off that Xander was caught kissing Willow that she called the vengeance demon and made a wish, and then everything changed.
Episode is called The Wish.
Yes.
So this entirely possibly could go down like that. Like you could change even just one thing, and that one change could ripple.
It's a butterfly, the butterfly.
Yeah,
thing.
butterfly.
But
Change everything else.
Clearly August is involved in this somehow because Owen was filming with Jen and Colin, and Jen and Colin's outfits were spoilers because they couldn't get pictures of them within their costumes. So I don't know what's happening.
Actually, somebody got a picture of August, and someone noted that his sleeves seemed to be
That
like
was me.
Yeah.
His sleeves were what?
His sleeves were made of leather. It looked like he was in Enchanted Forest class. If you look closely at the cat's picture that she took with like the fans in August, you can notice that what he's wearing is not modern day. It does not look. Okay. It looks weird. So it definitely looks like Enchanted Forest clothes. So if that spoiler goes to what Colin and Jen were wearing, they probably were wearing Enchanted Forest clothes. So what the hell?
Right. Well, that's what we've been saying. That's what we've been saying. That we talked about this last week where Jen posted that picture of her in a bed, and she was clearly looking very princessy in a bed. So it's clearly some sort of alternate universe where either the curse wasn't cast, or she's a princess, or something is happening. But this does confirm that if that's the case, then Colin and Killian and Emma do meet in this alternate universe, which is all I wanted.
When I'm trying to figure out.
What about baby Emma? She was wearing regular Emma clothes, but she's a little Emma.
I don't know what with that, but it looked like with Jen's picture, what she was wearing, unless that was just Jen being Jen and she's wearing a braid and everything.
Yeah,
she did look like she was.
Jen.
It could be, but her hair at the top of it looked like she might have been wearing something very princess-like, like a little something was going on the top of her head. But it could have been Jen just being Jen, and she was just very pretty that day. But yeah, I don't understand. I know that's a Jen, that the little Emma looks like she was little Emma regular. She was wearing the plaid that looked like, and she was wearing the beanie, so that looked like a Emma flashback, whatever.
Yeah, it would make sense to have an Emma flashback in an episode with an alternate reality where the curse wasn't cast. Like, I would be down with that.
But if that, then why is baby Emma look like modern day?
Because it's a flashback to Emma's real life, to what happened, to what really happened, and what could have happened had Regina not cast the curse.
So there'd be like multiple different things that they show.
If she didn't cast the curse,
it's like this is your life, or it's a wonderful life, or something.
Yeah, well, I mean, like, but if Regina didn't cast the curse, then Emma wouldn't be in the wardrobe. She wouldn't have went to the other world.
No, but what
it's
I'm
an
saying,
alternate universe.
They're juxtapositioning like they do in the flashback, like they do every week. They juxtapose like they did this week. They juxtapositioned Killian in the past with his fake brother, with Killian in the present with his brother. So this time it would be juxtapositioning Emma's real life in the past and how seeing yet another tragic bit of her past where she gets passed over by God knows who as a child in the system to what her life could have been like had Regina not cast the curse.
What I'm trying to figure out is, okay, if this is supposed to be some alternate reality of what happens if Regina never casts the curse and Emma grows up in the Enchanted Forest instead of the land without magic. How is she going to meet? Okay, I don't put it past Killian being a pirate to try and break into the castle and steal the kingdom's treasure, blah blah, because that's what pirates do. But if he doesn't get put under the curse bubble, then that means that when he meets her and she's already obviously, in the picture she was grown, he'd be like in his 60s and shit.
No, he just stays in Neverland longer.
There's ways to get around it.
I mean, Rumple didn't make him old when he had the author rewrite the story. He was just a deckhand on a ship.
So he stayed in Neverland longer.
But Emma wasn't even born at that time frame.
I know. Tinkerbell.
So he stays in
Tinkerbell. Okay.
You're
Regina and Robin actually do get together. Tink never loses her wings. She never meets Killian, and he doesn't get off the island.
Exactly. Until Pan wants him to get off the island.
30 years later than what he was meant to.
Well, I think they wanted to get Rose back, and I think that was the main reason, because I thought, like, if the evil queen is all like pissed off and stuff like that, but to mellow her out and get her happy ending is if she did meet Robin Hood. If she took that chance and walked through the tavern door, how would that affect everything after that? So she wouldn't have cast the curse. She wouldn't have be mad at Snow or whatever. She would divorce the dad or whatever of Snow's dad. But would Emma, Snow and Charming still meet? Would all that whole
clearly
timeline?
They would if Emma exists.
Yeah, but still, what would happen after the
fact?
It
doesn't matter. That's the point. It's an alternate reality. You can.
No, but I think
the thing is. No, but the thing that we're saying is, even with the author's reality, certain things are always meant to happen. Snow and Charming are always meant to meet. Emma and Killian are always meant to meet. That's the whole point. Some things are destined no matter what you do.
So Killian stays in Neverland 30 years longer, or 28 years longer than he originally was supposed to, comes back from Neverland and meets Emma all grown up in the Enchanted Forest.
Yes. That works for me. It's simple.
Yep.
You don't age enough. Right.
So are we thinking that before the alternate universe goes away for good, if Regina decides to rethink the decision that she made, that she plucks Robin from that alternate universe into Storybrooke?
Or
I don't
maybe
think
he tags along or something. Okay.
I think it could be It's a Wonderful Life and Clarence is Robin Hood.
That could be.
Or it's like A Christmas Carol where there's the ghost of the present, past, and future. It could be that. I don't think he's not coming back to life. We know that. But apparently a lot of the people who saw the filming earlier this week, it looked like the cast was not reacting to Robin Hood. So it looked like he might have been a ghostly figure. They're not reacting to this guy being around. You would think that you'd be like, oh my god, he's alive, but they're not. They're kind of like, he's just there and maybe only interacting with Regina.
Okay, so
maybe.
I have a question. And this is like super spoilery. So if you're really, really avoiding spoilers, turn
Go
this
away.
off or something. Why? I didn't get to look at all of the pictures, but why does everybody seem to think that the recent filming spoiled who's under the hood? Did I miss a picture?
Because Giles was there.
So we're thinking that the dude under the hood is Morpheus.
Yeah.
There was a picture of Jen rehearsing with her knee on Giles, and it looked like she stabbed him or something. So yeah, that's why we think he's the one under the hood.
But Adam and Eddie were pretty straight that the person that they used in the first fight sequence back in episode 1 was a stand-in.
Well, it was a stand-in.
And they've still been using a stand-in for a little while since. But in the episode 11, it's going to be the actual person, whoever that person turns out to be, but they've not revealed who that person is yet.
And it doesn't make any sense. I don't understand why Morpheus is trying to stab Emma. I don't understand.
Okay, I have this theory that Rumple uses the shears on the sonogram picture, and in the future, baby Morpheus becomes evil. Like he either stabs his own dad. One? Yeah, he stabs his own dad and becomes the dark one. And he's coming back to the past because this is some pivotal moment in his life. So he wants to prevent something from happening. That's the only thing that will make Rumple change his mind about his stupid plans. If he knows that his own son is going to stab him. Yeah, I think.
So Morpheus might become the dark one.
Yeah, I think so. I think he's from
So he's trying to prevent that. So is this... Okay,
that would be the best thing ever, and now you've gotten my hopes up. I hope.
I think that'd be so cool, right?
I still don't understand it, but okay.
But here's the thing.
How would that be good?
Here's another spoiler thing. We know that King George is coming back. So here's my theory. No, here's my theory about Charming's dad, and here's why I think they originally were going to have Killian have something to do with it, and then changed their minds. Because it makes more sense for it to be King George, and here's why. Because Charming's dad said that he was going to quit drinking, he was going to, be a good dad, blah, blah, blah. He was going to go do this thing and come back. So say he quits drinking, and he goes to try to do this thing. Well, the reason he started, becoming an alcoholic in the first place was because he had to give up his son. So what if he says, F this, I'm going to King George and getting my son back. And he goes to George, threatens to expose the fact that James isn't George's son, that he's really just the son of some peasant dude. And George says, F this crap, and just kills him, like the mafia don he is.
Oh, yeah.
That makes sense.
But how does that grow Charming, though? Like, how does that, it
doesn't have any eccentrics ever grown Charming.
This is true, but it's better than having Killian be involved in some way. And
I really hope at this point they don't have Killian be the one who killed Charming.
It doesn't make much sense for that, but
But Killian could be the voice of reason to tell, because Charming's already tried to kill George once, and he finds out that George is responsible for his father's death as well. That's going to send Charming on the warpath. Because remember, he was going to kill George when Snow and Emma were stuck in the Enchanted Forest, and he changed his mind. So if he finds out that George is responsible for his dad dying, Killian can be there to bring him back from the brink. Don't kill the crazy old mafia don guy. Let's just clap him in prison.
Yeah,
it'll be good for Charming to get the answers though, because the unanswered questions about his father has always been a very big void in his life. He lost his father when he was very young, and he's never quite made peace with it. He's never been settled with it, and he's always had this underlying anger towards his father for what he perceived as his father not being able to resist drinking and getting himself killed for it. He feels like any abandoned child would feel. So to get those answers and know that that wasn't what happened. Your father loved you and he was trying to bring your brother back to you. I think that would give him some sort of peace.
Exactly. It makes much more sense. And
honestly,
so it's I seriously think that they initially thought maybe let's have the Killian Nemo like story like play out with Charming's dad, and then some sane person in the writers' room went, "No, you can't have Killian be responsible for Emma's grandfather's death. That's a little too on the nose and a little too freaky. Let's do this other thing."
So good. I'm so
Yeah,
glad.
I mean, I hope they don't like make a Killian. It just seemed like they were going that way though, but like
That's what I'm saying.
especially
In the way they were talking at Comic-Con in the early episodes, it made it sound like that was what it was going to be, and then they went to actually break the story and went, "Nope, this story is not working. Let's do Liam 2.0 instead."
which I hope is the case, but I don't know. I mean, like, yeah, I don't. We'll see. And plus, it would give a connection if they want to do no drama with the Captain Charming thing. I think people like it more when there's not drama between them. They like it when they're butting up, especially since Killian killed his own father.
Yes.
So, like, that would match up Charming trying to kill his dad, his stepdad, or
his
whatever.
His fake dad, yeah.
His fake dad, or whatever. Like, and he can be like, "This is not going to give you anything." At first, I thought Snow had something to do with it because she seemed kind of weird when they were talking about it. I was like, I don't know who killed this dad, but I don't understand. I think, like, and I thought they wanted to do it this first half of the season. I guess they're going to push it back into the second half.
Well, it's going to be in 12.
Is it in 12?
Yeah, it's 12 is called Murder. 12 is called Murder Most Foul, which is from Hamlet, where it's the scene in Hamlet where Hamlet is faced with the ghost of his dad, where his dad's ghost tells him that his brother killed him, that Hamlet's uncle is the one who killed him. So this is totally the Charming Dad episode.
That's
so
strange.
If they bring him back, what will they do with King George in the present? Like, what's the point? We already know he's a jerk. You know?
Yeah, that's the thing. That's why I'm like, I don't know.
I mean, I definitely agree with the theory, but
I thought like King George.
Yeah, it's closure. It's closure for David. Something he sorely and desperately needs.
Okay,
Yeah.
So he can move on and raise baby Graham.
Exactly.
Here's
Hey, what if the dad's alive in the Untold Storyland?
I thought maybe he would be.
That could be.
At first, I thought it would be the guy in the gurney in the hospital bed because we didn't see his face, and it turned out to be Nemo. But it made more sense if he was in the gurney because the guy looked like he was in a horrible accident. And the last time I saw him, he was like stabbed, and he was in a wagon accident. I thought that was the guy.
Oh, and speaking of stabbing, has there been stabbing in every single episode?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
They like
Why
stabbing.
people?
I think it's their go-to modus operandi for violence. Except in this upcoming episode. Here's a question. Does anybody have any ideas about what's in that vial? Other than the fact that it can disintegrate a tree with one drop?
Idea.
Well, yeah, I don't know.
Where did the spark of true love, first spark of true love, create a tree in Storybrooke? Tell me that.
I don't know. I mean, I guess they could operate under the theory it got transported there from the Enchanted Forest and the curse, but that still made no sense. So why does it look like the tree from Lord of the Rings? It looks like the King's tree. Like, what the hell?
Okay. I don't know.
Wait, so that stuff in the bottle disintegrates true love? Is that what it's supposed to do?
Well, okay.
Why can't he just take Snow's heart standing right in front of her?
She can't because Snow's heart is split into two different places. So I think the fact that it's split is what's causing her problems. She wants it, but it's in two different places. And clearly, if she takes it out of Charming's gonna die because there's nothing else to keep him alive.
But isn't it weird that in the latest spoilers where they had like with Robin Hood, where is Snow? Like she was supposed to be there.
Well, like maybe she did use the heart and got Robin in exchange for Snow.
Well, here's the thing. I mean, the Oracle said that you can change the path, but the destination's the same. That so things are clearly happening that are changing exactly how the vision's going to play out. It's not going to play out the exact same way Emma saw it to begin with. Like things have changed and are changing.
Yeah, she's not wearing a tank top anymore. She's wearing
because it's freaking cold.
So I mean, okay, then things are changing.
Question is, can they
So
change it enough so that she survives? Now, I have this whole theory that yeah, she may be able to avoid this, but not dying, quote unquote. You know what I mean? That's gonna be the finale.
what? Who?
Emma
Huh?
dying?
Who's?
Yeah,
You think Emma's gonna die?
not die, but they're gonna that we're gonna think it's resolved in 10, 11, and then it's gonna pop back up again at the end or towards the end of the season.
I don't need another half season. Well, like I think we're only gonna be on break for what, a month maybe.
Nobody will come back for the season.
Yeah, I'm sick and tired of these dying things. Like last season, it was Killian that died, and now we need Emma to die.
I mean,
that's not
I
a good
think-
Christmas present for me.
well, no, I think dying is an overused plot device too, but you know how these
But
people
yeah.
are.
I thought it would
it's
be. I thought it would
possible.
be. Everybody's like, oh, it's going to be resolved, whatever, and it does get
Well,
resolved. But then there's going to be something else. Like this alternate universe is going to be the ending thing.
Well, and that's like the Emma Eddie interview with Leanne where she asked if there was going to be an engagement, and they're like, "Oh, so we haven't had an engagement in a while," and people are like jumping on the CS thing, and I'm like, "No, it's going to be some
Fool
side
me
couple we've
once.
never heard
That's
of."
it.
It's good. Like they said, the True Love's Kiss, and everybody thought it was going to be Emma and Killian, and it was Ruby and Dorothy.
He said there'd be more domestic moments popping up here and there, which
Yeah,
is
I'll believe
good.
that when I see
Yeah,
it.
right.
And
Oh,
then-
also Zelina's missing too. She did too. In that BDS picture yesterday.
Hmm. Well, she's never really at that kind of stuff because she doesn't care.
Zelina is in her own no fucks given world where she doesn't care what happens to Emma. As long as it does not affect her or her baby, she really doesn't care.
Also, Evil Queen was missing too, right? Only Regina was there.
Good.
Mm-hmm.
I just want the
I
evil
hope
queen
that's
to
over
be
soon.
a mini arc.
Yeah, I wonder if that means the whole arc is resolved.
They said
I
it was
thought it
supposed to
would
be
be
drawn
with-
out the whole year. It's supposed to be
Well,
drawn
I
out.
didn't hear
You
the whole
that.
season.
said the
I
same
mean,
thing about
The
High.
theme could be drawn out the whole year, not necessarily the Evil Queen and Regina's story.
Exactly.
Maybe the Evil Queen kills Zelina.
We're not that lucky.
You're
Hey,
asking for
maybe she
rainbows.
tries to kill Snow, but that doesn't work. Or somehow she kills both of them to get Robin back somehow.
Or she sacrifices her because she's a person she loves.
I think we can just
Yeah.
all agree that they've done a really exquisite job the past 2 seasons of really keeping tabs on spoilers.
Well,
So,
we're getting
Yeah.
confused because, again, and
It used to be that we knew what the storyline was before, like months before they even put it on screen, but now it's all spec now. I think they really battened it down to the point where no one can figure anything out, which is probably a good thing. It
I think
makes
it's
it so
good in
that
a
we,
way, yeah.
it makes it so that for once we can actually be surprised.
Mm-hmm.
There's plenty that happens behind the scenes, like indoors, and it's not all outside. And some of the best scenes can happen inside into episodes that you don't even think are going to be any good. I mean, we got stuck with a really bad episode with Regina saying, "You ruined my life." And then at the end, we got this great scene where Emma shows Killian that video and they're just holding each other and she's sharing that with him. You never know what's going to happen.
Yeah, we had this domestic Captain Swan in Breakfast. That's not shown outside, so.
Yeah, but that lasted for 3 minutes. I would like an
I know.
actual scene that goes on for more than 2 seconds.
Yeah.
That's why when
No.
they say, yeah, there's gonna be more domestic moments. I'm like, what? Are they gonna be walking through the house? Is that your definition of a domestic moment?
Well, they have two different kinds of definitions of things that we just do not. We don't see eye to eye on how they think.
Amen.
So,
I'm holding out this sliver of hope because in the promo you see them all meeting up at Emma and Killian's house, and I'm so blessedly grateful that I can actually call this Emma and Killian's house. That they're all meeting up there to discuss the vial and all that stuff. So I'm kind of hoping that Emma and Killian are having a little domestic moment, and then everybody comes barnstorming into the house. Oh my god, the smile! Evil queen, evil queen!
I still want them to be like washing dishes and stuff. That's the thing, because that was the
Don't
last.
people knock in this town?
No, no, not ever.
Apparently not.
Okay, do you guys have any? Do we have any other questions?
Nope, that was it.
I do.
Okay, tell us.
Okay, well, this question is from Ro, and he'd like to ask, what did you guys think of the scenes between Aladdin and Emma?
They were good, I guess.
They're okay,
They-
but not memorable.
Yeah, exactly. That was my opinion as well. Okay, and everyone.
I don't think the actor is very good, unfortunately. I mean, I think he looks cute, but he lacks the charisma, you know? He doesn't really work well with Jasmine either. There's just something missing. He's trying to be a Will Scarlet character, or at least the writers are trying to make him a Will Scarlet character, but it's not working.
Yeah,
It
but they
doesn't
could
help
have.
that. Yeah, it doesn't help that you can't understand half of what he's saying.
Yeah.
This is true.
Oh, his accent is terrible.
And the I hate to equate this to a cartoon, but the debonair, charming air that the movie version of him had is not translated here. He's very like blah. He tries to be charming with Jasmine, but the chemistry is just really not there. And then when he's with Emma, yes, she was able to get her point across, but half the time he acted like he just didn't care.
Yeah, he doesn't care, and Jasmine doesn't care for him. I don't know. This whole thing makes me sad.
That's why I thought that he was more Jafar, like, because he doesn't seem to care.
Maybe he's so like worried that because he cut away his magic that he can't do anything to help her, and he just feels like he's not the right person for it. That he was never meant to be that person, so he doesn't want to hear what she has to say. It was good though that she got him to understand that, you know, she felt that way too at first, that she wasn't what these people needed, but you know, eventually she had to come around and she had to believe that she could do it. I just wish that he would seem like he was more involved. He just seems like he's just kind of there.
Maybe that's what happens when you cut yourself loose from that.
Maybe like Zumpy likes to say about Neil, he just seems like he's just kind of mumbling his way through the scenes in the background and not really like he's not like he doesn't feel like a presence, and he should be because he's a major
Zumpy.
character. I mean, Aladdin's a major character. He should be more of a presence in this, and he just feels like he's just kind of just there.
Mm-hmm.
But what I'm thinking, if they could have just as easily done this sort of thing with Emma and Will, because it's the same dynamic.
Yeah.
Sheriff, thief, and if they hadn't done Frozen Swan, I'm thinking maybe they could have had time to focus on Will and his guilt about not being there for Anna or something, or Anna, whatever you want to call her. But now they might be doing that sort of thing with Emma and Aladdin because they're both saviors, or they both had that thrust upon them, but in the end, it was a choice to be heroes, to embrace who they were.
Well, apparently, he's not stronger than the rest of the other saviors. So Emma, is pretty much that's what that title's about, I think.
Yeah, the whole storyline's kind of a disappointment so far.
I don't even feel like Jasmine is trying all that hard. She was talking with Aladdin at Granny's, and then he disappears and wanders off because he doesn't feel like he's what she needs. And then she immediately calls Emma because she can't find him. Like, how hard is it? Storybrooke is a small town. Storybrooke is a small town. There's not a lot of places where he could be.
And
honestly.
then when he comes back, she's reading a book. I'm like, I thought Agrabah like disappeared. Like, why are you just casually reading a book? Like, he got all day. What's happening?
I
She
mean, you
needs
obviously
Aladdin to do anything. Apparently, she has
She's
no
just
idea
like,
to
well,
do.
she's just like Henry when, like, in season 1, the thing where, like, he's reading a book and drinking a Slurpee, and his mom disappeared and was the Dark One. Remember that? Like,
Yeah.
what are you doing? Like, you're just casually at Granny's with your big gulp and a book, and your mom just disappeared like the night before. It's like okay, again,
He
sometimes
needs
the
to
way
stay
they write
hydrated.
with his
sometimes
big
the way they
gulp
write
and
these
sugar.
characters just make no sense. It's like you called Emma because you were freaking out that Aladdin had disappeared and you couldn't find him, and then you turned up sitting outside Granny's reading a book.
She's lazy.
Okay,
Like,
but
can't you be at the library, like, researching Little Lady or something? You're supposed to be a teacher, and yet you're probably reading some fan fiction of something in that book.
but it's not really about Aladdin and Jasmine for me. Not at the moment. It's more like how Emma is interacting with these people and how she has a way of touching people and getting to them and showing them a better way. How that's not her magic's not the only thing that makes her the savior. It's like when she was helping Ashley, you know? This is the way she gives people their happy endings, not just with her magic, but with who she is and what she can impart on people.
But then why shouldn't she cut off her saviorness and then do what she's advising Aladdin to do? I mean, basically
Because she
Exactly.
doesn't
the
have the
idea
shears.
is no.
This
Basically,
is
the idea is she's advising Aladdin that even though he's not technically the savior anymore, he can still help save Agrabah, whatever that takes, right? So maybe that will be the lesson at the end of the season. I don't know.
that's my only hope for this storyline at this point.
Yeah, Dumbo didn't need the feather to fly.
Okay, so do you guys have any last comments? No?
No.
I
It was a
have
good episode.
Yeah, I loved it. I loved that they resolved the whole Liam 2.0 thing because that's a big plot point for Killian's hero arc. And
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and it shut down all the haters of everybody.
Mm.
They
any
surprised me with Liam 2.0, so I'll give them that.
any Hook centric is a good
Any-
episode. But
And it was wet. He was wet.
oh yeah.
just one really quick thing. We finally got confirmation from the Dust Storm directors that it's looking like it's going to come to DVD next month. So
Yeah,
all
finally.
you out there that are Colin fans and want to support his movie career outside of Once Upon a Time, if it does in fact come out in December, which it definitely looks like it will, whether that be in wide release in theaters or DVD, whatever, please go see the film. Please buy the DVD. Please, for God's sake, buy the soundtrack. Support Colin, please.
Okay, so that's it for today. Thank you everyone for listening, and we will be back next week. Bye.
Right?
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.